Hi, I'm Sandeep Karai, the creator of tomelbourne.com.au, a website for everything Melbourne. This is the first episode of the Untold Stories of Melbourne. This time, we are taking you to Mount Cottrell, a place where a massacre of Aborigines happened in 1836. I'm not here to discuss or analyze the rights and wrongs of what happened around 185 years ago. But history always teaches a lesson. Only the best survives. Okay, now let us begin our journey to Mount Cottrell. Mount Cottrell, a semi-rural town situated 33 km west of Melbourne, is part of the fast-growing western fringes of Melbourne. It is a 40-minute drive from the Melbourne CBD. The town consists of mainly privately owned farms, many of which are currently listed for sale, will soon become part of the new housing estates springing up in the area. The Mount Cottrell Road is blocked at certain areas due to these new constructions. On 16th of July 1836, Mount Cottrell entered Australia's history books when it witnessed one of the worst massacres of Aborigines. Around 35 Wathaurong or Wathaurong Aboriginals were murdered on that day in retaliation for the killing of squatter Charles Franks and his convict shepherd Thomas Flinders. This retributive justice or injustice divided Melbourne on those days, but most supported the massacre as it ensured the survival of the new settlement. Mount Cottrell got its name from a volcanic cone of same name, which was formed by radial eruption of many lava tongues millions of years ago. The Port Phillip Association was formally formed in June 1835 by 15 of the leading colonists of Tasmania with a view to purchase a large tract of land from indigenous people who lived on the south coast of Australia to establish a settlement. Batman sailed from Launceston in the schooner Rebecca in May 1835. In June, he went up to the Yarra River and noted in his journal, "This is the place for a village." That was the beginning of the process which gave birth to the great city of Melbourne. John Batman named the volcanic cone Mount Cottrell after Anthony Cottrell, a member of the Port Phillip Association, who was allocated the surrounding land by the association after the famous or infamous treaty Batman signed with the Aborigines. Charles Franks was allocated a run at Mount Cottrell. Charles Franks and his business overseer, George Smith, descended in Williamstown in the Champion with 500 sheep and a shepherd named Flinders on the 23rd of June 1836. Frank's business partner, George Armitage, remained in Van Diemen's Land. On 2nd July, Charles Franks, George Smith and Flinders reached the volcanic plains of Mount Cottrell with their sheep. George Smith left for Point Gellibrand to bring more stores. On 8th July, George Smith arrived back at Mount Cottrell, but there was no sign of Frank or Flinders, and he found the stores appears to be ransacked. George returned to Williamstown and sought the help of Mr. Gellibrand and other prominent members of the association. Joseph Tice Gellibrand was the first Attorney General of Van Diemen's Land, now known as Tasmania, and one of the leaders of the Port Phillip Association. Gellibrand was the brain behind Batman Treaty. Gellibrand asked Henry Batman, brother of John Batman, to accompany Mr. Frank with few other early settlers. A small army of 17 volunteers were mobilized to investigate the incident. The team, armed with muskets, went in search of the perpetrators. The party followed the trail of discarded stores left by the Aborigines to find a group of nearly 100 Wathaurong people. At dawn, the party fired on the tribe, killing nearly 35 Aboriginals. All those white members of the volunteer force that engaged in the retribution were from Van Diemen's Land, and one way or the other had some connection with the annihilation of blacks in Tasmania. A few months later, William Lonsdale arrived in Melbourne as police magistrate to formalize the illegal settlement of Melbourne. Then Governor of New South Wales, Burke instructed Lonsdale to investigate the massacre and apprehend the offenders with a view to sending them to Sydney Gaol for a trial. But during the interrogation, no witness from the pursuing party admitted heard shots being fired or saw anyone killed. As a result, Lonsdale reported to Burke that accounts circulating in Sydney must have been very much exaggerated, and the case was closed. Though now this is a privately owned land, the mound stands as a monument to the Aborigines who lost their lives on that fateful day in Melbourne.